Welcome to our first lecture. This video offers an introduction to multimedia in learning. To begin, let's define multimedia. The Merriam-Webster Dictionary defines multimedia as using, involving, or encompassing several media, or a technique for expressing ideas in which several media are employed. We can apply this definition to our use of multimedia. There are many types of multimedia that can be used in learning. Some major categories include illustrations, presentations, animations, videos, interactives, and simulations. Illustrations and static imagery include diagrams, information graphics, flowcharts, visual aids, and photography. Presentations cover a wide section of multimedia. These presentations can include words and images, audio only, or animated slide presentations with narration. This can be a great way to bring a guest speaker into the classroom as well. Animations include text, visuals, and almost always audio narration. Videos can be based on a case study or a scenario, and they may include motion graphics or even interactivity such as video quizzes. The interactives category is a pretty big bucket, and we use the term loosely. At the most basic level, interactives refer to multimedia pieces that require user action or input. Simulations recreate a situation or an environment and require both interaction and input from the end user. The multimedia we use in our courses may also be a combination of these categories. In fact, this video presentation offers a combination of most of these multimedia components, all tied together by your instructor. Now that we've clarified the definition of multimedia, let's move on to discuss the reasons why we use multimedia in our courses. The multimedia and modality principles are among the research-based rationales for using multimedia in our courses. Richard Mayer and others developed these principles. Basically, Mayer and others have shown that information is processed through different channels. These channels are the verbal text channel and the visual spatial channel. Essentially, two processing channels means that when you read or listen to someone speak, one channel of the brain is dedicated to processing this information. When you look at a picture or watch an animation, another channel of your brain is dedicated to processing that information. When you do both, the brain is processing related information through multiple channels. Using both channels, such as reading text with visuals or watching an animation with audio, can be more effective than using only one channel for learning. This image offers a great visualization of the process. Words and pictures move through each of the two channels to create sensory memory. This moves forward into our working memory, where the information is synthesized into a verbal and pictorial mode for greater understanding. Once we connect our prior knowledge, we integrate our learning into long-term memory. So, while the data and research on multimedia use in education continues to evolve, one concept seems to be emerging. When used properly, multimedia can increase effectiveness and efficiency of learning. The learning pyramid explains students' average retention rate after 24 hours. When a student only listens to information in a lecture, the retention rate is 5%. When a student reads, the retention rate increases to 10%. By adding the audio and visual, this retention rate doubles. So, simply utilizing multimedia can help increase the effectiveness and efficiency of teaching. Here is a quote from the research paper titled Multimodal Learning Through Media, what the research says, supporting this idea. Our brains are wired to process visual input very differently from text, audio, and sound. Recent technological advances through functional magnetic resonance imaging scans confirm a dual coding system, through which visuals and text or auditory input are processed in separate channels, presenting the potential for simultaneous augmentation of learning. The bottom line is that students learning from well-designed combinations of visuals and text learn more than students who only use text. Research also indicates that adding a level of interactivity, whether it's requiring the learner to make decisions or asking them to interact with the content and do something with the information, can further enhance learning. Here's another quote from a Moore 2011 article in the American Journal of Distance Education supporting this claim. It says, "When a multimedia-based e-learning environment offers more learner content interaction, learning performance and learner satisfaction can be improved." Keep in mind though, this all depends on using multimedia properly for the situation. For instance, you may not need to create a complex interaction or simulation for a simple concept, when perhaps text or text with an illustration is sufficient. The effectiveness of multimedia depends on context and the proper use in the course. There are also some other benefits to utilizing multimedia for learning. One benefit is the ability to effectively address complicated topics. Another is increased learner feedback, such as automated feedback that can be provided by interactive tools like simulations or video quizzes. Interactive tools also increase the efficiency of learning and reduce the need for an instructor to provide feedback, as they give students the opportunity to review the material multiple times. Some of the other anecdotal information and research lists a change of pace, adding personality to the course, and addressing different learning styles as additional reasons that enhance the online experience. Keep in mind that this section was only meant to give you an overview of some of the reasons we use multimedia. You're encouraged to do further research on your own. Okay, we've covered a ton of information in this lesson, so let's summarize. Here are the key concepts. First, multimedia is a technique for expressing ideas in which several media are employed. Some categories of multimedia include illustrations and static imagery, presentations, animations, videos, interactives, and simulations. The multimedia and modality principles indicate that the human brain processes information through multiple channels. So, whether you're describing your island vacation or are learning how to analyze statistical data, processing information through multiple channels is a richer and more effective learning experience. Learner interaction with content and automated feedback also improves the efficiency of the learning process for both instructors and learners. In the end, we use multimedia to enhance learning and to bring the material to life. Providing opportunities to process the content through multiple channels and interactions will provide a more effective learning experience. References for this presentation include the Cambridge Handbook of Multimedia Learning by Mayer, Multimodal Learning Through Media, What the Research Says by the Mitri Group, and E-Learning and Learning Online by Moore. Thanks for watching!